Hey guys, I'm GraveyDavey. It's game day. Get those jerseys on. This one kind of stinks right now. It has a big pizza stain on it from last year. I've never washed it. You don't want to wash the luck off of it. But I'm just going to give you a quick introduction of myself here today. I'm from Snow Lake, Manitoba. That's in Canada. And I am a super fan, I guess. Some people would consider me a super fan. I don't really consider myself a super fan. I'm kind of a supper fan, but that's a different story. I just wanted to let you know about how I became an Avalanche fan. It's kind of a long story. I'll give you a brief version of it, but when I was 13 years old, it was 1995, and I remember being on a spring break vacation in Edmonton, and I was actually in line to go to my first NHL hockey game. This is the first season that the Avalanche were in. They weren't playing, but it was actually a game of the Los Angeles Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers. And I was so pumped for this game because I was going to see the great one, Wayne Gretzky. But that's the year that I also found out about the trade deadline. And he had been traded to the St. Louis Blues the week prior to me going to this hockey game. I was devastated. This is back in the Cujo, Ryan Smith era of the Edmonton Oilers. You never know, friggin', sorry for cussing, but Kelly Rudy might have been in net for the Los Angeles Kings. I don't know, but it was before he started his broadcasting career, anyways. So the reason I became an Avalanche fan really was because I was a closet Patrick Waugh fan. And being 13 years old, you're coming into your own, you're able to make your own decisions. I was brought up a Maple Leafs fan, Toronto Maple Leafs. My Uncle Ted, he very strongly influenced all of us kids to be Maple Leafs fans. And I decided, you know what, I'm not a Maple Leafs fan. I'm a fan of all goaltenders, really. Like, I loved Patrick Waugh. My favorite was Eddie Balfour, Carmen, Manitoba. I love Felix Potvin, who played with the Leafs. Ron Hextall was one of my favorite goaltenders ever. He is so intimidating. Yeah, and I lived in the golden age of goaltending. You had your Dominic Hasek, Martin Brodeur. There's so many of them, too many to name. But when I was 13, I bought my first Avalanche jersey, and that was in Edmonton before this game that I went to. I had an allowance money. I think it was a little over $100 that I spent on it. It's still hanging on my wall. It's high school sizes, so it doesn't fit me anymore. So I wear it proudly on my wall, not on my body. This one's tight enough on me, a 2X, but and it stinks. Don't ever wash your jerseys. If you think there's any luck involved in wearing a jersey, don't wash it. You'll wash the luck right out of it. But I guess this is the first ever time doing this stuff or whatever, but I just wanted to get a feel for what I'm going to do. I'd like to discuss current topics. I have one topic that I want to kind of touch on here. Happened currently just on, I believe it was Thursday night, Colorado versus Montreal, and there was a controversial hit. My boy Nikita Zadorov, Big Z, or Big Z as we call him in Canada, but he appeared to have slew-footed Koski. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm brutal at names, but yeah, he's a much smaller guy than Nikita Zadorov, and I was listening to some discussion on Twitter, and really it almost made me change my opinion on the matter as well. Like, in my first initial reaction was that's that's a clean hockey play. That I've seen that happen 100 times. But when you start looking at it, when you start dissecting it, and like there's a lot of people out there you have to filter through that are just, I don't know, irrational or whatever. Oh, let's suspend him for 10 games. He doesn't belong in the league. Kick him out, and actually getting profane at it. Like, I don't know. I don't like. I like to keep a clean ship. I like to keep it clean. This game is for everybody. But if this is a controversial call, why isn't that something that we're looking into? Should this be something that the NHL should be looking at to maybe change a rule? Like, it doesn't really necessarily look like a slew foot, but it does look like after you look at it and again, it's something that Zadorov did plan. Like, he did that intentionally, but that's it still, in my opinion, it's part of the game. But should it be, is what I'm asking, I guess. I'm interested to hear what your opinions are, and that's kind of what I want to do here, is open up to general discussion about current stuff going on. Like, currently I'm watching the game where my boy Gravey, he almost scored a goal anyway. Or Gravesy, sorry, I'm Gravey. But watching it on Altitude TV, shout out to Altitude TV still for giving me my little bit of internet famedom, or fan, I don't know what I'm saying anyways, but you know, those guys, they completely changed my outlook on life. I'm not saying, I don't know, that it changed my life when I was made into a GIF at that November 12th Avalanche versus the Jets hockey game. Nathan MacKinnon, like I remember that play perfectly. Like I had even been drinking a bit, but I still remember it play by play. I'm pretty sure I drank 2 beers every period at that game. But that's besides the point. I'm gonna expand on that. But I see Nathan MacKinnon steal that puck from center ice, and I jumped out of my seat. And I knew it was gonna happen. He came in, and I got ready, and I was standing up, and I don't even know what I was doing. I was trying to call a goal, but like I had this going on like this. Is like Elvis Presley, I'll chop a man in half. But anyways, if you remember this too, you'll notice the guy sitting to my right. Here's a funny story. I was actually coming back from Fargo. I went to a Slayer final campaign tour in Fargo, just a few days after that game. I think it was on the 18th down in Fargo. And coming back, I was picking up my buddy from the Concordia Hospital, and I was stopped in traffic, and I just glanced over, and who was it? It was that guy that was sitting at that hockey game beside me. That guy at the game, he's in the picture. They made a meme out of it. Like, it just kept on getting closer into his face, just showing his reaction to how enthusiastic he was about my cheering. But I see this guy, and I was like, I laid on my horn. I was honk, 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 honk. I got his attention. I was like, oh, oh, oh. He couldn't. I don't know. He was not impressed with me still at that point in his life. He made that initial eye contact, but immediately broke it and did not look back at me, even though he was sitting right beside me for another 2 minutes in traffic there. But I don't know, that's just one of the things also that inspired me. Like, what are the chances of something like that happening? I don't know, I'm kind of getting lost for words on what I want to say, but I have some stuff written down. I'm gonna get better as we go on. Like, this is the first, and I don't even really, this isn't a podcast or anything like that yet. This is just me on a camera talking to you guys, the fans that inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. Like, if it wasn't for that positive feedback from all you guys on Facebook and Twitter, I would have never thought to drive down to Denver and do this. And like, I was like, I could fly down to Denver, but driving down is going to be a way better story. And all the follows I got out of that, it's been overwhelming, but like, I've been taking it in stride. It's been inspiring me to do more stuff. I want to write a book. I've actually started writing this book. It's called GraveyDavey 73 Supper. It's funny because it's a legitimate typo. I was gonna put Superfan, but I spelt Superfan, okay? But this is how it's gonna be. This is Davey Uncensored right here. Right there. This is gonna be what I will publish eventually. I'm only like 4 paragraphs into the book. Like, I'm not done a chapter yet. It's gonna be a couple at least. And that's just a start for me too. That's just gonna be an introduction, my history of getting into being a hockey. Like, I've been a goaltender for so long too. That's a little off topic, but maybe we should call this a day or something like that. Like, I'm kind of into this hockey game too, but I don't want to keep you guys any longer. So how was I gonna end this show again? We've been tossing around ideas, and I'm gonna look at it again. Like, I'm pretty sure like it's gonna be like, all aboard the, or I don't know, man, like gravy train, woo woo. No, that's not a good one. I don't like it. That doesn't feel right. But how about, sorry, just bear with me, you guys. Like, I'm internet ridiculous here. I'm not good at the internet. And you know what? Everybody, just stay gravy.